Hello, everybody. Today I'm excited to talk about part 2, the remaining 15 of the 25 ego defense mechanisms. Let us start. Number 1, somatization is unconscious process. Somatization as an ego defense mechanism involves converting psychological distress into physical symptoms. This process serves to protect the individual from confronting emotional pain directly. For example, imagine someone experiencing intense anxiety due to a stressful job. Instead of acknowledging and dealing with anxiety, they might develop chronic headaches or stomach issues. These physical symptoms allow the person to focus on their bodily discomfort rather than the underlying emotional stress. This is also called psychosomatic illness. Number 2, compensation is a conscious process. Compensation is a defense mechanism where a person attempts to cover up perceived weaknesses by emphasizing strengths in other areas. For example, person might have the academic weakness. An individual who struggles academically might excel in sports or cultural activities to compensate for their academic shortcomings. Number 3, devaluation is unconscious process. Devaluation involves attributing negative qualities either to oneself or to others to manage anxiety or internal conflicts. This mechanism often helps individuals cope with feelings of inadequacy or disappointment. For an example, an employee who did not get a promotion might cope with their disappointment in 2 ways. They might devalue themselves by thinking, I'm not really competent enough to manage the job. Number 2, they might devalue the person who got the promotion by saying that position is not important and the person who got it is not even that skilled. Number 4, identification is unconscious process. Identification involves adapting the characteristics of someone else, often someone who is perceived as more powerful or capable. For example, a child who is bullied might start to act like a bully to feel more powerful. Reaction formation, that's number 5, is an unconscious process. Reaction formation is a defense mechanism where a person consciously replaces an anxiety-provoking impulse with its opposite. For example, bullying due to attraction. A young boy might bully a girl because of an unconscious level. He is attracted to her. Instead of acknowledging his romantic feelings, he expresses distaste and hostility. Number 6, undoing. It can be conscious or unconscious. Undoing is a defense mechanism where a person tries to cancel out or negate a previous thought or action that they find distressing by engaging in contrary behavior. For example, apologizing after being assertive. If someone feels guilty about being assertive or confrontational, they might apologize excessively afterward to undo their assertiveness. Number 7, displacement is unconscious process. Displacement is an ego defense mechanism where a person redirects their emotions from the original source to a less threatening target. For example, if someone is frustrated with their boss but cannot express their anger directly, they might come home and take out their frustration on a family member instead of the boss. Number 8, denial is an unconscious process. Denial is a defense mechanism where a person refuses to accept reality or facts, blocking external events from awareness. For example, substance use. A person with an alcohol use might deny they have a problem because they can still function and go to work every day. Number 9, asceticism is a conscious process. Asceticism as an ego defense mechanism involves denying oneself physical pleasures or comforts to manage internal conflicts or anxiety. For example, someone might refuse to eat, speak, or sleep until they complete a major work project. This self-denial helps them feel in control and reduces feelings of guilt or anxiety related to their responsibilities. Number 10, altruism. It is an unconscious process. Altruism as a ego defense mechanism involves engaging in selfless acts to manage one's own internal conflicts or anxieties. Essentially, by helping others, a person can alleviate their own feelings of guilt, anxiety, or inadequacy. For example, imagine someone who feels guilty about their own grand success, while others around them struggle. To cope with this guilt, they might volunteer extensively at a local shelter, providing food and support to those in need. This act of altruism helps them feel better about themselves and reduces their internal conflict. Number 11, splitting. It is unconscious process. Splitting is an ego defense mechanism where a person views people, situation, or things in extreme, all or nothing. Categorizing them as either entirely good or entirely bad. This can help simplify complex situations, but often leads to distorted perceptions and relationships. For example, in relationships, a child of divorced parents might idealize one parent as perfect while viewing the other as completely flawed. Number 12, omnipotent control is unconscious process. Omnipotent control is when an individual believes they have special powers or abilities to control situations or people. This defense mechanism helps protect their self-esteem and sense of competence. For example, in personal relationships, a person might insist on planning every detail of a family vacation, believing that only they can ensure everything goes smoothly. This can make them feel powerful and in charge, but may also lead to conflicts with family members who feel excluded. Number 13, fantasy is unconscious process. Fantasy involves retreating into a world of imagination to escape from reality. For example, daydreaming about being a famous singer to avoid dealing with feelings of inadequacy in real life. Number 14, passive aggression is an unconscious process. Passive aggression involves expressing aggression in indirect or passive ways. For example, agreeing to do something but then intentionally doing it poorly or ignoring to do it completely. 15, acting out. It's unconscious process. Acting out involves expressing unconscious emotions through actions rather than words. For example, a teenager might engage in rebellious behavior to express feelings of anger or frustration. In my next video, I will talk about transcending the ego. Please send your questions in the comment box. Please subscribe, like or dislike, and share with your friends. I thank you very much for watching, and as always, wish you an excellent week ahead. Namaste.